Burlington Northern and MidAmerican are two key links in a critical supply chain. Can you describe your views on coal and natural gas as investments, and can you discuss how the current low-price environments impact the prospect for each of these businesses?
MidAmerican will never really benefit or be penalized too much by the price of coal, because if coal is cheap, the benefit's going to be passed on to the customers, and if it's expensive, the costs are going to be passed on. You know, MidAmerican really is it's a regulated public utility. It has several. We have two MidAmericans. We have a MidAmerican Holding and a MidAmerican that operates in Iowa, and then we have utilities on the West Coast. But those utilities are pass-through organizations. They need to be operated efficiently in order to achieve their rate of return. But if they are operated efficiently and in the public interest, whether coal or labor or whatever it is may go up or down, really doesn't affect them, although it affects their customers. Coal traffic is important to all railroads in the United States, and coal traffic is down this year. This may interest you. This year, in the first quarter, kilowatt hours used in the United States went down 4%, 4.7%. That is a remarkable decrease in electricity usage, 4.7%, and that affected, of course, the demand for coal. But the other thing that's happening is, as you mentioned, natural gas got down under $2. It's a little higher now, but it got down under $2. At the same time, oil was $100. And if you told Charlie or me 5 years ago that you'd have a 50-to-1 ratio between oil and natural gas, I think we would have asked you what you were drinking. Did you ever think that was possible, Charlie?
No, and I think what's happening now is, to use your word, it's idiotic. We are using up a precious resource which we need to create fertilizer and so forth, and sparing a resource which is precious but not as precious, which is thermal coal. If I were running the United States, I would use up every ounce of thermal coal before I'd touch a drop of natural gas. But the conventional view is exactly the opposite. I think those natural gas reserves we just found are the most precious things we could leave our descendants. I'm in no hurry to use it up, and the gas is worth more than the coal.
Despite the wild things we've seen in pricing, particularly this ratio of natural gas prices to oil, you can't change. I mean, the installed base is so huge when you get into electricity generation that you can't really change the percentages too much, although there has been a shift in recent months to where gas generation is feasible. It has supplanted some coal generation, and certainly in the future you're going to see a diminution in the percentage of electricity generated from coal in this country. But it won't be dramatic, because it can't be dramatic. You just can't. The megawatts involved are just too huge to have some wholesale change. It's going to be very interesting to see how this whole gas-oil ratio plays out, because it has changed everyone's thinking, and it's changed in a very short period of time. I mean, 3 years ago, people wouldn't have said this was possible.
Yeah, the conventional wisdom of the economics professors is that if it happens in a free market, it must be okay, and it'll work out best in the end. That is not my view with 100% accuracy. I think there are exceptions to that idea. And I think it's crazy to use up natural gas at these prices.